In a dense jungle filled with tall mountains and pure, cool waterfalls, many animals lived peacefully. In a cave on a mountain lived a lion, a lioness, and their two cubs. The lion and lioness adored their children and always cared for their safety. When the lion cubs accompanied their parents into the jungle, they enjoyed it immensely. However, the lion and lioness rarely took their cubs along. They often left them in the cave while they ventured into the forest in search of food. The parents repeatedly warned their cubs not to leave the cave alone under any circumstances. The younger cub heeded this advice, but the older cub often found it tiresome. One day, while the lion and lioness were away in the forest, the elder cub said to the younger one, "Let's go to the waterfall, drink some water, and explore the jungle. I love scaring the deer." The younger cub replied, "Father has strictly warned us not to leave the cave alone, especially to go near the waterfall. Let's wait until they return and go with them." The older cub laughed. "I'm thirsty. All the animals fear us, so there's nothing to worry about." But the younger cub refused, saying, "I will follow our parents' advice. I feel scared going alone." The older cub mocked him. "You're a coward. Stay here if you want. I'm going." The older cub left the cave and wandered to the waterfall. He drank to his heart's content and started chasing deer playfully. That day, some hunters were in the jungle. They spotted the lion cub wandering alone and decided to capture him to sell to a zoo. They surrounded the cub and, with a sudden move, threw a heavy blanket over him and tied him with ropes. The poor cub was too small to defend himself. He struggled but couldn't escape. The hunters sold the cub to a zoo, where he was locked in an iron cage. He became miserable, missing his parents deeply. He growled and scratched the iron bars daily, but they didn't budge. Whenever the cub saw a child at the zoo, he growled loudly and leaped around. If anyone could understand his language, he would have said, "Always listen to your parents and elders." Ignoring their advice leads to regret, as it did for me. I disobeyed and ended up in this cage. Moral of the story: this story teaches us the importance of listening to elders. Their advice is often rooted in experience and wisdom, protecting us from unnecessary troubles. Ignoring their words, like the lion cub did, can lead to regret and suffering. As the verse says, "Those who, driven by pride, ignore the wise words of elders, face constant sorrow in life and never find peace." If the lion cub had followed his parents' guidance, he wouldn't have faced the tragedy of captivity. This story reminds us to respect and value the advice of our elders. It can guide us through life's challenges and prevent mistakes. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more valuable lessons through inspiring tales, don't forget to subscribe to Peak Minders. At Peak Minders, we aim to bring you stories that inspire, guide, and transform your life positively. Join us to embark on a journey of wisdom, compassion, and self-improvement. Every like, share, and subscription motivates us to bring you more impactful stories. Let's create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.